Uh, Hi, so in this video I'll be ranking every Block Toast demo from worst to best. Now this list will also include the prologue and pre-prologue. So yeah, join my Discord server and subscribe. Yippee! Also it's like 1 AM, so please have sympathy for my voice, okay? Number 6, pre-prologue. So in last place, which is probably expected, but I don't know, but we have the pre-prologue, which is the first area you always spawn whenever you make a new slot, which is the area that kind of shows off what Bizville will look like in the future, because Blocktails takes time in the past to be exact is in 2010, because Terry confirmed it whenever we beat the pre-prologue game and woke up in our dreams. We also learn in this part that Terry is a dad, since he has children, and I forgot these guys' names, but they are pretty cool. Okay, I just learned these guys' names. They're Harry and Mary, I'm pretty sure. Now our goal in this section is to go to the VIP convention, which is a convention hosted by Builderman or David Bazuki, but a mysterious thing happened where some random dude from somewhere and he brought his gang to help, which is a helmet noob and a nooblet, which if you know the helmet noob, you know how many people would despise it. Anyway, I think they interrupt the whole convention and J Party tries to save it, but I think he ends up getting defeated and we have to defeat the enemy, which are easy, and yeah, I guess. This section also gave us huge lore, like red and blue, I guess, lamenting about what seems to be Nubernor's grave, but this isn't confirmed. But it is the most likely option since there isn't many family members that supported red and blue in the past. Purple and green can't, cause they, how do I say this in a good way? Very not cool to them and taught them bad things to do. Yeah, okay, after that. Anyway, after we defeat the mysterious figure, we get teleported to the prologue, which is where the next section is. Now, in my opinion, this chapter isn't the best. It is super short, and also the fact that other chapters heavily beat this. But to be honest, this is where everything starts off, so I don't expect the devs to hard focus on this part, unlike other chapters, which I'm going to cover. This chapter was also made in Demo 4's development, so they probably focus on Demo 4 rather than this. Also, one more thing that I like about is how many familiar faces that are in front of the VIP convention that are just amazing to see. Some include Redibles, Doris Dev, Stickmaster Luke, Natural Disasters Dev, Nico Petty, famous original soundtracker maker, Temple Guardian Makes Me Dance, and way more that are super cool. Now, chapter is for me the worst as it is way too short, but I think it's so amazing, like with any chapter in this game, and all the chapters are like really good. So yeah. Number 5, prologue. Up next we have the prologue, which is where people go after beating the pre-prologue. I mean, the goal here, I guess, is to save Shaletsky and meet Tutorial Terry for the first time, but that isn't really a goal, so why did I say that? And we have to fight red and blue in order to save him, and once we do save Shaletsky, we have to traverse the Meowdos, and we eventually meet red and blue and a brand new character, Nubador, who are red and blue's uncle, and eventually we'll move on to Demo 1. Now this area in my opinion is pretty cool from the beginning, as you can explore this area, the arcade, and the HQ, which is pretty epic. Also, this is the area where you will most likely go to every time when we start a new demo, except Demo 1, when we go to the caves and storm the castle. Another cool idea that makes the prologue cool is the Iron Cafe, Bizville Arcade, where they should add gambling to the game. Okay, I need to stop yapping about gambling because gambling is bad. The Iron Cafe is one of the coolest areas in the game, as you can listen to one of Federico Silva's songs in the whole prologue, and also get some really cool items, I guess. Also, you can do the Jeep minigame in the arcade once you beat it in Demo 2 after chasing the mayor. This area is one of the classics, as this is one of the places where you can donate to Donatello, I think, for a free flavor, which is gold, and you also do a cool backflip whenever you win a battle while using the gold flavor. You can also buy hard mode cards in this area, which is at the bottom right whenever you're in Bizville, and the cards are pretty hard to say the least, and if you combine all of them and fight some bosses, you will most likely survive. Now this area is pretty cool, but it is also pretty boring, as this isn't really a chapter, but rather just a cool area for people to explore and fight 2 bosses in this area, which are Red and Blue and Nubador, which are some of the coolest characters in the game, and we will eventually meet them later. Number 4, Demo 1. Now we have the very first demo, Demo 1, storming the castle, which is where it all starts. The story is very simple in my opinion. We have to, well, storm the castle to take the Ice Dagger, as Cruel King is guarding it, and he thinks that if he doesn't have it, his kingdom will fall, which I don't blame, because the Ice Dagger is insanely powerful and can heal you and gain SP, which is one of the best swords in the whole game. The bosses in this chapter are really cool, as we have Supreme Ant, Danish Knight, Spiky Killbot, Sentient Statue, and Cruel King, which is one of the most loved characters in the community, as he carries me in the pit with 4 Komodo dragons and 4 Sentient Statues. The only problem I have with this chapter is that 3 out of the 5 bosses are super easy to deal with, those being the first bosses, and you could argue that Sentient Statue is easy now, since a long time ago he used to deal 8 damage with the big sonic boom rush thingy, and also deals 8 damage with the big smash, which made the boss arguably harder than the Cruel King we have now, since Cruel King used to freeze enemies for 2 turns rather than 1 turn like we have now. But this was way too OP for Cruel King in my opinion, as you could lose a turn and get absolutely bullied by Cruel King if you don't dodge correctly. Also, Road Town is one of my favorite places races in the whole game, as penguins are one of my favorite animals. Wow, very cool fact about me. Also, the area is simply amazing with the penguin hideout being, well, not really a secret since most people kinda know it, and also you can get a free bucks there, plus the snowball card, which got heavily nerfed as of Demo 4. Also, the best part is where you save Jim for a free whole pizza that heals a whopping 50 HP, which is the highest in the game, tied with the baked whale and whale, which gives 50 HP, and one of the rarest items in the whole game, since you basically have to gamble in the fishing spot to have a chance to get it, which is a 0.25% chance of getting from fishing, and you can give it to the ghost chef to make a baked whale that gives 50 HP and SP, which just makes it so that you basically heal all of your HP and SP if you don't invest all your stuff onto one topic. We also learned that Terry killed the chef in this chapter, who is the chef in the Blackrock Castle, and once he kind of dies from an RPG by Terry and goes into the manor to cook up some stuff for the manor as a ghost, yeah, that kind of just sad. In my opinion, Demo 1 was one of the coolest chapters, but the next chapters beat it as they have better game design, better bosses, etc. Number 3, Demo 2. Next up, we have the schizophrenic boss Demo 2, A Toxic Time, which is the next chapter after beating Demo 1. This is where we have to find the Venom Shank and also chase the man as a schizophrenic teenager, Griefer, who kidnapped his dad just to pull out the Venom Shank, as he is the only one who can pull it out since he is a sword guardian, and he is pretty smart as he knows he can't pull it out himself, so why not use his dad to pull it out? Honestly, big brain move by Griefer. This is also the first boss where we have to fight him 2 times, once before Bigfoot and once in the big tree cave thingy. Then he becomes a disgusting plant that is a giant thingy that scares me to fight against. This demo has a total of 4 bosses, which are Komodo Dragon, Griefer, Bigfoot, and the final boss, Bubonic Plant. In my opinion, all these bosses have one of the best OSTs in the whole game, as they are just simply amazing and I can't really describe it otherwise. You also have one of the fruitiest towns in the whole game, Tortopolis, which is one of the coolest towns in my opinion, my favorite, as you can buy some really good items like stacking papayas, which can give you plus 15 HP for every one you eat, which is pretty insane as of for Demo 2. 15 HP is what most people have whenever they start Demo 2. This is also the town where we meet faces with most people have seen when playing Demo 3, which is purple and green in the hotel, who are asking for something I forgot, but I might check it out later. I did not check it out. Also, this character is where we finally get the RPG and slingshot in the caves, which are 2 unique weapons that are pretty good. As an RPG main, I gotta say, RPG is the best weapon. No offense to every other card. Another cool thing about Demo 2 is that this is the first demo that has a cool minigame, where whenever you are chasing the mayor, there's a Jeep minigame that is like Subway Surfers but worse, I guess. But since there aren't many obstacles, but also pretty cool, as no other demo has done this. The OST is fire. This demo is really cool, but the only problem is that there isn't much compared to Demo 1, but I think it is still better, in my opinion. Number 2, Demo 4. This might be a shocker, but I put Demo 4 in 2nd place. First of all, this demo is one of the best when it comes to design, as everywhere is simply perfect. The atmosphere, the music, bosses, etc. Now you might think that Demo 4 sounds amazing. Well, in my opinion, there's one big thing I don't really like about this demo, and that is at the beginning, as it is pretty underwhelming as compared to the next demo. It isn't really good in my opinion. Now, that doesn't mean Demo 4 is bad. It is probably one of the best demos in the whole game after we get to the Ancient Tomb, as we have the first boss in the Ancient Tomb, the Great Flochi, or the hardest English word to say. This boss for me is one of the coolest bosses in the game, as it has many unique abilities. The first one is letting him able to summon a manic that can do lots of cool abilities that are very unique. The first one is him summoning cardboard thingies that somehow do 3 damage per hit, even though they're made of cardboard, which doesn't make sense. Rich, where he summons like 20 million coins that deals 1 damage, and he does it 8 times, and he also spawns a big boy statue that is 4 damage, and he does it at the very end, and it's also gold, which, yeah. The third move is very simple, as he just slashes you 2 times and does 5 damage every time he slashes. A very simple move, but effect. Finally, the last move is him being able to summon a full-on car that is somehow dodgeable, which is insane considering a car like 20 million feet also does 10 damage, which is a lot. The next place after the Ancient Tomb is Vermilion Village, where it is basically the town for the desert place, and no offense to it, but I think it's one of the worst towns compared to Road Town and Tortopolis, because simply put it, I just prefer Road Town and Tortopolis over Vermilion Village, and I don't know why. It's just super cool. Also, below the village, we have a super secret boss after beating Demo 4, which is Fin McCool, and he was one of the hardest bosses in the whole game, because simply put it, is a scrap Demo 7 boss, which explains the difficulty. Okay, enough of Vermilion Village. The next place is the Temple of Red Sun, which is actually the final location for Demo 4, and this location has 3 bosses. The first one being Temple Guardian, and this guy is actually unique because his head cannot be attacked since you have to defeat the hands that are guarding it, and the hands are quite powerful, as the right hand can do a point flick thingy that deals 10 damage per flick, and the left hand can do a zoom thingy like Sentient Statue that can hit the whole party, also dealing 10 damage. Finally, the main head has 2 moves. The first one is him spitting out a ball that turns into a fire cannon, and it deals 10 damage to the whole party and gives off burn for 3 turns. His last move is Guardian Bite, and this move deals 10 damage plus the life steal effect, which I don't know what it's called, for 3 turns. Those who don't know what it is basically life steal, and if you get hit by Temple Guardian, he steals HP from you. Now we have the next boss, Captain Trotter, who has a unique mechanic where he changes stance. This means that if he shows no ball, you can't use ball weapons on him. These weapons are ball, dynamite, and RPG, and the other stance is sword, where you have to use sword weapons. These weapons include sword, shovel, and slingshot. This is the first boss that has a unique mechanic, which I find pretty cool. Now with his passive out of the way, he has 5 abilities. The first is coin flip, where he yeets a coin into the sky, which he fires one big shot, dealing 14 damage, and he can also shoot you 3 times, each dealing 5 damage. The next move is Barrel Toss, where he will yeet a barrel towards you, dealing 10 damage to the whole party and inflicting burn for 5 turns. The next move is Inferno, where he yeets the Firebrand, dealing 10 damage, burning, and subtracts 2 damage from you for 5 turns. I would just recommend using Fuel Fine to get rid of all these effects. You also can't dodge this move. The next ability is Drink, where he drinks some pirate juice and gains +1 defense for 3 turns, which is a very simple move but effective for him since defense is OP. The last move he can do is Pirate Spirit, where he summons a Pirate Spirit, which is basically another Captain Trotter, minus him not being able to do damage with the Firebrand, and also only has 1 turn instead of 2. Final boss of Demo 4 is the Ancients, where he has 60 HP and has 6 moves. Whoa, that is a lot of moves. The first move is called Wheel, and he deals 7 damage per hit, and he does it 2 times. The next move is Beam, where he charges a beam at you, dealing 14 damage, implying confusion for 2 turns. If it was 3, bullets start raging like hatred. Call for help. This move summons 2 vessels and grants the ancients with invincibilities in numbers until they are killed, like the Temple Guardian. The next and most famous move is Ultra Beam, where he shoots out 19 lasers, dealing 2 damage per laser. And his last move is Darkness, where he hides everything for 2 turns, and the screen is darker. Now that's all the bosses explained. In my opinion, these bosses are really cool, and there are some unique mechanics to the new bosses. But in my opinion, the next demo is the best, considering it has one of the coolest, and the memories I got from it were insane. Number 1, Demo 3. Last up, we have Demo 3. Now, I won't explain all the boss's abilities, as that would be boring, and I'm sorry I made you listen to that. Now for me, this demo had the best intro in the whole game, as first of all, you were put on a train where after you head to your room and try to get some Z's, the conductor tells you that there are bandits who raided the train, and you have to defend the driver of the train, which funny enough is Nubador and his kids, Red and Blue. We also learn from this chapter that Green and Purple used to be Red and Blue's dad and mom, and we also learned that Green and Purple taught Red and Blue some pretty horrible things. So Nubador took them to stay away from Green and Purple, which if you're gonna have kids, make sure to be a Nubador. Very funny comment, by the way. This is how every chapter should start off, in my opinion, as this is super cool and unique, as no other chapter has done this. Now another cool thing about this demo is that Dream World shocked everyone, because we were stupid to pull out the Ghost Stalker and we had to fight our negative emotions, which are greed, solitude, fear, and hatred, and that was just super dope and fire to say the least. I can't explain how fun this demo was because of how much things they were doing in Dream World, and I would love for the devs to put more stuff here. This is the best demo in my opinion. Okay, so this part is unscripted, so yeah, this is the video, I guess. So yeah, the video is a video, and Blocktails needs demo 5 to come out because I wouldn't be, I don't know, I need to rank for more stuff. Okay, and doors, it needs to get the garden sub 4 update, or the outdoors. Okay, please subscribe and join my Discord server. Okay, that's all I have to say. And also, if it's 1 AM for me right now, I should probably go to sleep, and I am. So yeah, yippee!